Hey everyone, it's Melanie from melaniekaham.com. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to do a little tour. I'm going to talk about some of the things I've gotten here, my favorite ways to organize my studio, maybe give you some ideas, tips and tricks, or inspiration. I haven't done one of these in several years, and last month I completely reorganized this room. I cleaned it out, I got rid of stuff, and I reorganized the way that my workflow is in here. So I thought I would share it while it's still clean, because Lord knows it's gonna get messy here probably pretty soon. But I thought I would show you around, show you my updated studio tour for 2020. So here's what it looks like when you first walk in. I have my long arm here on the right-hand side. Then we've got my work table, my pegboard. So there's my sewing table, and then that door goes to a Jack and Jill bathroom for this upstairs hallway. And then from over here, here is the closet. There's my light, and then there's the hallway. This is the main wall of my studio where all the magic happens. So we only have one window in this room. And so that is the window that I use for natural light. So I organize and plan my day around good times to film and take photographs in this room, which is in the mornings. This room is a standard kind of like bedroom size. So it's one of the bedrooms in our home, and it is, I think it's about 11 feet by 12 feet. So it's not a super small bedroom, but it's also not like a huge one either. This is, you know, we do have some limitations with our size and what I'm able to do in here. So this is my work table here. I have this space, it's specifically set off the window on purpose so that I can open the shutters, get the most light in here as possible, and also so that I can put my tripod and my camera in that spot. So this is set up so that I can film and take photographs in here. But I love that here at my work table is where I do all of my fabric cutting and where I take my photographs, because it is next to the window. On the pegboard, I keep my cutting mats. So I can pull out the size that I want and be able to easily put them away so that I have the spare surface, the bare surface, whenever I need it. This is a light, it's called the Stella light. It's really sleek and minimal. It has light adjustments, and I've really been enjoying using that, so that's what that is. And then over here, I have my wool mat and my Olaso iron, which I love. So the wool mat, I tried out. I've been hearing a lot of good things about using wool mats in your pressing, especially if you're a quilter. I decided to get one and try it out. I will link the exact one I have from Amazon. Great price. It's a really good size, and I'm really enjoying using it. And not only that, I'm enjoying this workflow. So I have when I'm quilting or when I'm sewing, I have my cutting space here. I move right over into my pressing space, and then I move right over then into my sewing space. So it's kind of along this wall, kind of going from right to left. There's a nice kind of open space here in the middle. I can move around, I can move my lights around, my tripod around. It's been really working out well. This is not how it was laid out before. In my last sewing tour video, it's totally different from that. This is a cabinet from IKEA, and I can fit it right underneath this table. This table is also from IKEA. It's one of those tabletops with the adjustable legs. So I have the legs as high as they possibly go so that I have a nice tall, high surface for my cutting. So I'm not bending over and straining my back. I can stand up straight and do my cutting. So that is this table from IKEA. I will link everything in the description box below. Up here, I have pins, needles, yarn needles, that kind of stuff. Little cutters, trimmers, needle threaders, thimbles, small little bits. In this drawer, I have extra like clover boxes, old pin cushion. This has my letters for my letter boards, sewing machine feet from machines I don't use very often. And then this third drawer is all of my smaller specialty rulers. A trick when you have these sort of specialty rulers is to keep their instructions with them. So like this is an add a quarter ruler, so it adds 1/4 of an inch, and I keep the instructions, the details in this drawer with it. So sometimes I might have to dig and find it. My daughter's drawings that end up in here. So like for this Dresden ruler that I've got, I keep all of that together. In this bottom drawer is where I keep all of my quilt sandwiches. So these are when I'm testing out my tension for the sewing machine to make sure that it's good. I just keep them all in here. All right, so over here is my sewing table. I have my Juki 2010Q out right now. Typically I sew on my DX7, but I was doing some free motion quilting and I just love the way that this machine does its quilting. I pull it out every time I do that. Next to my sewing machine, I keep a bowl of clover clips, and like I took a ring off. So it's a good little spot for a catch-all. I also keep a magnetic pin cushion that I put right here in the throat of the machine, so that when I'm taking pins off, I can put it right there and I don't have pins all over the place. Here's my drawer. I always have the knee lifter on because I'm obsessed with them. And then here's my drawer, which has like tape measure, another little bowl, extra spools of thread, sewing machine feet, needles, bobbins, bobbin buddy things, trimmers, particularly things that I will need while I'm sewing. Here's where I'm keeping all of my larger quilting rulers, my 6.5 by 24, 12 by 12, like bigger ones. This is just a nice kind of spot where it's out of the way, but still accessible when I'm over on this side of the room. This little bin, I love having a pegboard, by the way. This is for all of my tools that I'm using at the sewing machine. Marking tools, chalk pens, marking, a stiletto, a seam roller, all of that kind of stuff. All that is right there next to me while I'm sewing. And then the rest of the stuff up here is my thread. That's just some of my thread, but I kind of like having it out because it looks pretty and cute in videos. Extra clover clips, decorative stuff, things that I've made before that I want to just kind of have out. Aloha, because when I lived in Hawaii, that's like the best word ever. Okay, really quick, just here's my pegboard. I've got ways that I'm storing things, just cute things that I like to have out. Scissors, rotary cutters, you can switch and mix around things that you want that are just beautiful, or also things that are functional. Up there I've got some extra stuff, some macrame cord. I still have plenty of space on here, so I could even fill it up more if I wanted to, but I like it having a mix of functionality and beauty. Here's the closet. This is just a standard like bedroom size closet, so it's nothing extra or fancy. All my yarn is here. So I have this bookshelf with all of my yarn. It's a little bit messy right now, but actually it's not too bad. Then up here on the top, I have a couple of project bins. I need to have a place to put my in-process projects because I'm not always able to work on the project from start to finish before I need to do other videos or other projects or make progress. But have a place to keep everything together and put it away. I've got a project bin up here on top of another project bin. I've got, my daughter ripped her jumper, so I need to fix it. Some extra things up here. And then up here in the top of the closet is a whole bunch of storage. So I've got fabric paint, my notions like zippers, elastic, different cording for sewing. Then I've got a bunch of interfacing, so making things vinyl, so like iron-on interfacing, different sorts of fusible webbing, applique, that kind of stuff. Extra thread. This is cutting bin stuff, everything from Fiskars, like tag makers, different punches, things like that. This bin up here is embroidery stuff. So I've got all my pearl cotton, my cross stitch fabric, embroidery floss, different patterns that go with it are all in there. All my batting stays up there as well. Let's open the other side, you can see that one. All right, in the top up here is a serger, extra light bulb up there for my lights. This is, that's a fireman pants. I took some of this apart and made a zip pouch for my dad for his birthday. And then inside here, all my batting scraps, markers, watercolors, and colored pencils. These are all kind of like random works and projects. I'm not sure I'll ever get to them, but they're all organized in one spot. This is a quilt I'm working on, more fusible fleece and different sort of interfacing for fabric. Another mending, my son ripped it. And then, a very glamorous closet area, more batting, full-size ironing board, tabletop ironing board. My other sewing machines are down here in the bottom, all kind of packed away. The rest of my long arm frame is over here because it can be a 12-inch frame, or 12-foot frame, excuse me. My halo light, that's the ring light that I use to help pump up the lighting in here. So yeah, there's the closet. Here is the long arm. This is the Qnique 14 Plus. I will get to videos on this. I have been meaning to do that for so long. I'll be totally honest with you. Getting a long arm is not for the faint of heart. list. This is my design wall, so when I want to put fabric up there, I want to stand back from my quilts and be able to look around. There are some kind of work in project ones. Underneath the long arm has a lot of storage. So same kind of thing. I have a bin for all of my long arm accessories. I have my record player. I like to play records in here while I'm working. And then I have some more project bins down there. So this year, I'm gonna try not to have so many in-process projects and kind of finish more of the things that I get started on. Trying to do better on that in 2020. I didn't mention my light. I usually have it on, but I have 2 light bulbs out, so I need to go find new ones for that. But that light was made for me by Scott Coppersmith, who's a local artist, and he makes these lights out of recycled building materials. So it's pretty cool. That is my studio tour. Now, you might be noticing that I did not talk about where my fabric is. My fabric in this whole studio reorganization, my fabric got moved over to my master bedroom. So right out this doorway to the left is my master bedroom. And it's a decent sized room, and there was this one section that was going to fit my fabric cabinet perfectly. So I will show you kind of what it looks like in there, but that is where all of my fabric is. I just had to get one thing out of this room so that I could have a little bit more space to move around. That's what kind of got kicked out, which is okay because it's really not far to just kind of walk around the corner and grab what I need. Everything that I talked about will be linked down below and on the blog post. If I forgot anything, I'll mention it in the blog post as I write that out. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm happy to share. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.